Hello, Year 10. So we're looking at factorising more quadratic expressions, but this time the x squared term is bigger than 1x squared. So there's two types that we can break them up to. One is a common factor does exist, and the second one is a common factor does not exist. So can you copy that down, and when you're ready, come to the next slide. Okay, so we're looking at common factor does exist. Okay, so for instance, 2x squared plus 10x plus 6, what number goes into all the terms? Can you think of a number that goes into the first term, second term, and the third term? Okay, think about it and write that number down. And when you're ready, come back. Okay, the number you should have found is, the number is 2. So if you divide 2 into 2x squared, you get x squared. If you divide 2 into 10x, you get 5x. And you divide 2 into 6, you get 3. Now what I'm going to do is, I don't like that question, I'm going to change that because that doesn't actually factorise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a 12, just so we can get an answer. That's my fault. So change that one to 12, so that'll be a 6. So we've got 2 bracket x squared plus 5x plus 6. So 2 into 2x squared goes x squared, 2 into 10 goes 5, 2 into 12 goes 6. And then you say, well, I do know how to do this because I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to give 6. So 6 and 1 is 6, 3 and 2 is 6, but then the number has to add to 5, so it must be that pair. So the final answer is that. Okay. So this technique works because there's a 1 in front of the x squared. This 2 is just going to stay outside the front. Okay, so copy that down. When you're ready, come to the next slide. Okay, so there's another type of question where a common factor doesn't exist. So if I'm looking at 2x squared plus 7x plus 3, there's no number that goes into all three terms. Like 2 doesn't go into 7, 2 doesn't go into 3, 3 doesn't go into 7, there's nothing. So there are two ways that I teach. One involves this thing what I'm calling cross multiplying, but then after that it's guess and check. So you don't get the answer straight away. But method 2 is similar to what you've just been doing with the question that you just did, where you're looking for numbers that multiply to the back and add to nil. So I'll show you both ways, and then you get to choose which way is best for you. Come to the next slide. Okay, so just to remind you, when we're expanding out brackets, okay, the FOIL method, so F-O-I-L, you get the sequence 2x squared plus 6x plus 1x plus 3. So 2x squared plus 7x plus 3 is the final answer because those terms can be simplified. So the question I'm asking is, where did the 2x come from? 2x squared, sorry. And where did the 3 come from? I'm not worrying about the 7x. So think about that, and when you're ready, turn it back on again. Okay, so where did the 2x squared come from? The 2x squared comes from 2x times x. So that's the first number in each of the brackets. And where did the 3 come from? Well, 3 came from 1 times 3. So the numbers in the bracket come from, the numbers in the answer for the first and from the last, they come from the numbers that are in the bracket. So there's a 2x, and there's an x in each bracket, and there's a 3 and a 1. So this idea about cross multiplying is that the 2x doesn't necessarily go with the 3. It might be with the 1, so we have to trial and error. So just write that down and then come to the next slide. So here's the technique, and it's called the cross multiply method. So what you do, you write down what numbers and what terms multiply to give 2x squared, and the answer is 2x and x. What numbers multiply to give plus 3? The answer is it's 3 times 1, or it could be 1 times 3. It doesn't, at this stage it's just guess and check. It could be one or the other. So the trial and error part is, You write down the 2x and x, and you write down the 3 and the 1, and you put a cross in between them, and then you multiply down the cross. So 2x times 1 is 2x, and you go up the cross, x times 3 is 3x, and they add up to 5x. 3x plus 2x is 5x, but the number we want is 7x. So that means that answer is not the right answer. So instead of having 3 and 1, we switch to 1 and 3. So we put the 2x and x on one side, and this time instead of 3 and 1, we put 1 and 3. We put the cross in the middle. We go 3x, so 2x times 3 is 6x. X times 1 is 1x. That adds up to 7x, which is what we wanted. And so to finish off, what you do is you sort of read across. So you go reading across this way, you get 2x plus 1, and then reading across that way, you get x plus 3, and they're the factors. And again, you've had plenty of practice on those, and obviously you can ask me questions. So that's called the cross multiply method. Okay, copy that down, but it definitely involves trial and error. There's no easy way of doing it. Copy that down and then come to the next slide. Okay, so method 2 is similar to what you did when you just had 1x squareds in the question. So the method I've got, it's a little complicated, but just try to follow it. So you look at the numbers there, and you multiply to get an answer. So 2 times 3 is 6. Right, so you take the first number and the last number, and you multiply. And then you look at numbers that multiply to give 6, that add to give 7, because that's the middle. Okay, so numbers that multiply to give 6, 6 and 1, 3 and 2. So 6 and 1 gives you 7, 3 and 2 gives you 5, but we wanted a 7, so it's those two numbers. So the numbers you have are 6 and 1, but we divide by 2 because that's what we multiplied by out the front. So we take the 6 and the 1, we divide by 2, and that gives us 3 and a half. And what we do with those numbers, we have a bracket, we put x plus 3, we put x plus a half, and if they're whole numbers, they're okay, but when we have a fraction, whatever the number underneath is, 2, we do double to get rid of the fraction, and so that's the answer. So if the fraction was a third, we multiply by 3. If the fraction was a quarter, we multiply by 4. Okay, so that's the second method, and you get to choose which method you think is better. And I think that might be the end of the video. No, I've got one more. Okay, so we've got one with minus signs. So let's have a look at both methods and see how it works. So method 1, 2x squared is 2x and x. That's the easy part. But minus 3 could be 3 times minus 1, minus 3 times positive 1. So it doesn't matter which you try. So I've tried the minus 1 and 3 first. We put the cross in between. So 2x times 3 is 6x. X times minus 1 is minus 1x. Adds up to 5x, but we don't want 5x. So that's wrong. Okay. And obviously, so instead of having minus 1 and 3, I could try minus 3 and 1, so do the cross again, so 2x times 1 is 2x, x times minus 3 is minus 3x, adds up to minus x, but we don't want minus x, we want plus x, so that's wrong. But now we see that we've got the number 1 right, but we just got the wrong sign, so all we do back here, we just switch the sign, so instead of having minus 3, we just change it to a plus. Okay, and the cross in between. 2x times minus 1 is minus 2x, x times 3 is 3x. That adds up to x, which is what we wanted. And then we just read. When you read, you would cross that way, so that's the 2x plus 3, and then you would cross that way, and it's the x minus 1. You must have said that method 2 gives us the same answer, which it would. So just make sure you read the question. So we take the 2, and take the minus 3, and we multiply those numbers, gives us minus 6. And then we look at factors of minus 6, which are those numbers down there. Just guess and check the numbers, and then you add them up. Then you add 6 minus 1, you get 5. Minus 6 and 1, you get negative 5. 3 and negative 2, you get positive 1. Minus 3 and 2, you get minus 1. And that's the one we wanted. Okay, so then you take those numbers. 3 and minus 2, and we divide by 2. Why 2? Because that's the number that we multiplied by to start with. And you get two new numbers, 1.5 and minus 1. You put those in brackets. And that number's okay because it's a whole number. And to get that to be a whole number, you just double it. So double it to 2x, double it to 3. And it's the same answer, which has to be, because it's the same question. Okay, so there's an exercise to practice. 297. Again, this is the hardest ones we've done so far, so it's just practice makes perfect. Okay, good luck.